The first piece of steel that snapped up there was so loud that it echoed through the canyons of Lower Manhattan like a bomb went off. Nobody had to look at each other and question what was that. Everybody knew exactly what it was. You just knew. It was just so loud. And we're trained as firefighters, and through our experience, you can never outrun a building collapse. It will always catch you and kill you. It happens too quickly. You have to seek immediate cover. And that's exactly what I thought of when I heard the crack, the snap. We were not in a good place to be. But it gave us a couple of seconds to run back to that door into the Tall Ships restaurant that we had just passed. So I yelled to the paramedics, "Follow me." I think one of them did, two of them didn't. We all lived, thank God. Thank God. But I go into that door into the Tall Ships restaurant, and it was as clear as this room is. And with a snap of your fingers, it was pitch black. The South Tower was collapsing onto the Marriott Hotel, and the Marriott Hotel was collapsing around us. I hit the ground. Everything that wasn't nailed down was flying in our faces. I lost all contact with any other human. You couldn't hear, you couldn't see. The dust was so thick that it clogged your nose and your mouth and your ears and your eyes. I was trying to stick my mouth into my t-shirt to try and filter the dust out a little bit so I could breathe. And I just started crawling, hoping to find a vertical column, because I know in a building collapse, sometimes we find people alive next to vertical columns, because that's a strongest part of a building. And so I can't breathe, I can't hear. I compare it, the noise, to sitting on the tarmac at JFK, surrounded by 747s full blast. And every time you thought it was the loudest thing you ever heard in your life, it would increase by like 10 times as the collapse got closer and closer. All that air that was being pushed out of the hotel as it collapsed was now exiting where I was. I found a big vertical column, or I am a faithful guy. I think I was led to it. I wrapped my arms around this huge column, and I squeezed as hard as I could. I tried to get inside the concrete. And the wind was so strong it blew my helmet off my head, and then it lifted my body off the ground, and I was horizontal, holding on to this vertical column. And this is the moment that I was saying goodbye. This is the moment that I said, my 9 lives have run out. This is the moment I was so sad that I wouldn't be able to say I love you to my brothers and sister one more time. And I prayed to God, I'm not afraid to come to you. I'm not afraid to sit at your feet. I'm really not. I'm a believer. I have my own way of going about things, but I am a strong believer. And I just said, I'll come to you, just please, not now, please. I just want to tell my brother and my sister, my brothers and sister, that I love them one more time, and then I'll come. But please let me. And, seemed like forever, but a few seconds later, the noise stopped, the wind stopped, and I was alive. They did a scientific study of that space where we were, because it was the largest group of survivors, and they wanted to know, why did this particular place yield so many lives, where everybody else was killed? Everybody on the whole, whatever, 18 acres was killed. Why did this group of people live? And a couple of things. It was the part that was rebuilt after the 1993 bombing. And so the iron workers used iron that was much bigger than it needed to be. So that structure was very much stronger. That's probably the column I grabbed onto was one of the new columns that was replaced. But they actually brought in a volcanologist, scientist, to study the space. And he found a piece of glass that was jammed into the concrete and steel. And he scientifically proved, this is published, that the wind where I was that was lifted me off the ground, that was trying to blow me out into the street, was 185 miles per hour. So that there is no way I held on to that column by myself with human strength. So I had help. He wanted me to survive this. I believe that to this day. And I'm trying to fulfill his calling for me for the rest of my life.
If you like this clip and you want to watch another, click here. And if you want to watch the full interview, click here.